As a working photographer in Cleveland, I wear many hats. I shoot portraits. I photograph food or architecture or fashion or live events, nature scenes and animals. It really all depends on the assignment. I guess you might call me a generalist when it comes to taking on photo assignments around town, but my true passion is for travel photography. I think in many ways all photographers inherently have an adventuresome spirit. We're explorers. Whether we're exploring our own backyard or exploring the farthest reaches of the globe, it doesn't matter how far you go in miles, as long as you have an intense curiosity about the world and a fair amount of patience. I blame my grandfather, my father, and the bookshelf full of National Geographic magazines for my insatiable wanderlust. One of the daily rituals I remember fondly as a kid was sitting on my grandpa's lap as he flipped through the pages of the magazine, and I would stare at the fascinating people looking back at me, and I was completely riveted. The curiosity my grandfather nurtured, combined with my dad's interest in photography, led me to pursue a degree in photojournalism from the University of Missouri. I realized pretty early on in the program that I couldn't be a war photographer or chase ambulances or document other people's anguish. In fact, I nearly gave up on the idea of doing photography for a living. Instead, I started out my career doing magazine design for a publishing company. On occasion, I did photography for the various publications, and I enjoyed it immensely. One of the magazines was a trade publication for doctors called Relax. It was about travel, and the bell went off in my head. I knew I had found my calling. And then the magazine folded 3 weeks after I started my job there. So that didn't pan out, but around the same time, my first travel article was published in a South Carolina newspaper. It was magical to see one of my photos dominating the front page of the travel section, above the fold even. That was nearly 20 years ago. The size of travel sections have dwindled, and there's little chance of seeing that kind of play photographs except in some print magazines. Everything is moving online to appeal to millennials, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Images on the web live a heck of a lot longer than they did in print. A common quote among industry folks was always, "Today's news becomes tomorrow's birdcage liner." Well, that's not really true anymore. Unless you're using Snapchat, where the photos disappear within 5 seconds, photos living in the digital realm can potentially be seen by millions of people around the globe. In fact, that's how the photo editor for National Geographic Traveler found me. He needed a photo to illustrate a story for the November 2008 issue about Argentine grilling. When he went looking for photos of asado, he found my photos from San Antonio de Areco on Flickr. He contacted me, he gave me money, and I was so thrilled to see the photo in National Geographic. Well, okay, National Geographic Traveler, but it was an amazing feeling. So anyone who balks about not wanting to put their images online for fear of thievery, I tell him or her it's a mistake. The power of social media lies in its ability to market your photography and show off your skills. Yes, there are some unscrupulous folks that will steal photos, but I get a higher percentage of people that request permission to use my photos and compensate me for the use. Well, to be honest, not all of them want to compensate me. All right, I'm pulling up the soapbox and stepping up onto it right now. I do have requests from media outlets and corporations to use my photos in exchange for attribution. However, a credit line won't pay my electric bill or equipment maintenance. I have a form letter response ready when I get a message like this one. My response: greetings. I'm a full-time professional photographer and travel journalist, and my income depends on people who feel that photography is worth paying for. I thank you for your interest, but at the same time, I'm disappointed that, insert publication, would not compensate photographers for their efforts. Feel free to write back should you wish to discuss rates. People will always want something for free, but since some of us do photography for a living, I have to get paid. I will make exceptions for nonprofits and educational institutions. I urge anyone who loves photography and would love to do it for a living to not give away photos for free. It devalues the profession. Okay, I'm stepping down from the soapbox. Now where was I? Oh yeah, social media has changed the photography business in the last 20 years for better and for worse. There's a new world order, one in which those who want a career in photography cannot expect to be hired and get a full-time salary, nor can he or she depend solely on freelance assignments from media outlets with shrinking budgets. Some photographers I spoke with have seen a 75% reduction in freelance pay for the same amount of work. This is the reality. But there are photographers that are thriving, whether it's by innovating, diversifying, and seeking other forms of payment, such as sponsorships from big corporate clients. The new normal has forced me to branch out a bit more. For example, I have used my photography to sell auto parts. I never realized how clearly I could see at night until I installed the Sylvania Premium headlights. Lighting is key for a photographer. That's how we do our job. At golden hour, that's when I see the most beautiful natural light. And it's nice to see lighting that illuminates the subject, which is the road. I'm Laura Watilo Blake. I'm a photojournalist, and I'm part of the Light Shift. That one was a little out of my comfort zone.
Oh, and I should also add that we never got that golden hour I was talking about in the video because it was cloudy.
I would say that I've done the best at diversifying. In addition to improving my technique, I have learned other skills that make me more valuable. I've stepped into the world of video journalism, which essentially uses all the same photography tricks but in a moving form.
It means that we are very happy, we can dance for you, we can dance.
One of the biggest strengths for the Ghana culture, I think, is the hospitality of the people. The people are very nice. The people know how to welcome visitors.
Travel photography is a product, and with all products, creators need to stay on top of the market trends in order to succeed. Millennials are already driving the demand for certain types of photography. They are so accustomed to transmitting every moment of their lives, and we see it all play out on social media, close up and personal. This is the selfie generation, and they love to see themselves doing things. So how does this matter? Well, there was once a time when a beautiful scenic shot of a waterfall, taken with a neutral density filter to blur the flowing water, would have been on the cover of Ohio Travel Guide. But now, they want to see people in the photos. The brand strategy in Ohio, for example, has shifted to follow travel trends. And right now, the catchphrase is experiential travel. People don't want to just visit a location. They want to connect with it, have authentic and unique experiences, and create lasting memories. So, the photos Tourism Ohio uses for their marketing campaign reflect the trends. Here's the press release that went out last summer, dated July 9th, 2015. As you know, just 3 months ago, we hired a new marketing agency to assist with developing the brand for Ohio, and we're excited about the direction we're headed. As you've heard us say, our brand will convey emotion and how it feels to experience Ohio. As we execute initial creative, such as a brand video or print material, we need your help. If you have photos or videos of your authentic Ohio experience that captures and conveys emotion that you'd be willing to let us consider using, we'd love to have them. See, there they want the free stuff. They go on to show a few images that are illustrative of the emotion they want to convey, the joy, happiness, feeling of freedom, and the meaning of the moments these individuals are sharing. So it's all about the people. This is what they produced for the 2016 guide. Instead of scenic shots of Ohio, the state opted for a photo of younger people walking down East 4th Street, presumably getting ready for a fun night out on the town with their friends. And I was lucky enough to be the one hired to take the photo. What does all this mean for photographers who are interested in following the trend? If you love nature photography, try to incorporate the human element in your photos. If you photograph birds, try turning the camera on the people who love birding on occasion. Start a photo blog or an Instagram account that's all about your photography niche. If you don't have a niche, find one. This is your chance to share your love of photography and document everything about your chosen topic. Most importantly, stick to the topic. My Instagram account is all about travel photography. I'm often tempted to post pictures of my nephew and niece, for example, but I hold back. That's for Facebook. The people that follow me on Instagram expect travel photography, and that's what I plan to keep giving them. After all these years, I'm still excited about picking up a camera, and I hope to keep people interested, even if it means I have to learn how to use Snapchat. More importantly, I'm still excited to travel and see new things, and hopefully people can see my passion translated through my images. So what's your passion?
Dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù e volavo, volavo felice.
Okay, it's time to choose your own adventure now. What direction would you like to go? Would you like to know how to photograph people? Perhaps you want to know more about how to get followers on Instagram, or how, or even why, to use Snapchat in the first place. Or perhaps you want to know how to do star trail photography. The floor is yours. Ask away.